For most people, cars are just things that sit outside collecting rust. So before you go into debt buying a car, here's a few things you should know. The average car payment for a brand new car is around $700, and for a used car, it's around $500. And that's just for the car. If you include things like insurance, maintenance, fuel, you're well over $1,000 a month. And if car payments aren't bad enough, lenders are looking at finding ways to extend it. I think last week I saw something like an 8-year extension, so now you can have a car payment for up to 96 months. So with car payments at an all-time high, interest rates increasing, if you have a car, it might be in your best interest to currently keep using it and to not buy a new one. Because let's take a look at the average household expenses. If you look at the full list, the top two expenses are your house and your transportation costs. So for the second most important thing that you're likely paying off each month, it doesn't make sense that you're gonna buy the most expensive one just to sit outside and collect rust. And there's been an increasing cost of cars over the past few years. You've likely seen this in the form of the used car market reaching an all-time high, but there's a problem with this. And the issue with it is that dealerships spent money on these cars and they're not likely willing to take a loss on them. And if they don't want to sell it at a loss, it's likely that whenever you're going to look at a dealership, the car is overvalued compared to what the market's saying. Because this is a problem, because immediately once you drive your car off the lot, it effectively immediately depreciates. Meaning that $20,000 car you just paid 5 minutes ago is now probably worth around $17,000, just because you're an additional owner and you have additional mileage on it. So while many people might see a car as an asset, I personally treat it as a liability depending on what it is. And for the majority of people, it should be treated like a liability because effectively you're paying something that's sitting outside depreciating in value. But there are ways for you to effectively try and save money on your car. The first option would be trying to buy a used car versus a new car. And of course, do your research on a used car, but for a majority of people, you don't need the new 2023 version when the 2017 version will do the same thing. Because for most people, you just use a car to get from A to B. And getting back and forth, you just need to find a car that's reliable that meets your needs. Of course, there's going to be cars that are more reliable than others, but think Honda, Toyota, Lexus. These are cars that oftentimes don't break down and have plenty of parts in case anything happens. But to prevent any other costs on your car, you should learn a few maintenance tips. Learning how to do these small things is as simple as going on Google or on YouTube and just searching your car. And this can help with the longevity of your vehicle. And a lot of these things can be done by yourself in just probably about 30 to 40 minutes researching. You can understand how much money you could save. Now, don't get tricked with all of the bells and whistles of a new car. Oftentimes you can get an older car and just upgrade a few things. For many older cars, there's ways for you to upgrade it to get a reverse camera, to get Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. All you have to do is go on Amazon, research these products, and likely you'll only be paying around $200 to upgrade your car for the small things. And getting things like cleaning out your car and getting seat covers are just small details instead of buying a brand new car. Because at the end of the day, being that transportation costs are likely the number 2 expense that you have, you need to understand your overall finances and where this plays out, which I talked about in this video, so feel free to check it out.